Okay guys, so in this video we're going to talk more about Luckin Stock. So Luckin Coffee is a Chinese coffee chain based in China, and the company is a direct competitor to Starbucks, and it's amidst a huge scandal right now. So I posted an earlier video about Luckin Coffee stock dropped 75%. Is LK stock worth buying? So there's a lot of new information on this case, and I want to keep you guys up to date because I know some of you own the stock and some of you are thinking that the stock's still a good buy. So I just want to keep you updated on things like this and introduce you to the new information and give you my quick take. So the stock is down another 18%. So a lot of you guys asked in my previous video if I thought Luckin stock was going lower, and I said I think it was because, like I said, I don't like to catch a falling knife. And lo and behold, as the stock market went up about 7 to 8% in Monday's session, Luckin Coffee was down another dollar, around 18%, guys. So the reason why this is simply because we're still not out of the water yet. There's still a lot of information that has to be disclosed. As you can see, the stock sold off quite well, although there is some support at around $4.20. So now I'm a lot more interested in Luckin Coffee than I was in my previous video because the stock is coming down around $4. And if you take a look at the long-term price chart, you can see that the stock did once trade at about 40, almost $50, guys. So this stock is literally about 95% off its all-time high. It's trading at an all-time low now. So let me just go into some of the information that has been disclosed lately. So if you take a look at this article, this is a really nice article posted by TechCrunch. It says Luckin Coffee's alleged fraud has some silver linings and even more bad news too. So it says Chinese coffee chain super brand Luckin Coffee has been in the spotlight the past week after the company revealed an SEC filing that had undertaken an internal investigation of an alleged $300 million fraud on the company's former COO. So that caused the stock to drop a ton, guys. So I covered that in the other video. But what I really want to talk about is the new news. So it says the bad news is continuing to multiply. The stock is down another 15%. It actually closed down 18% as investors continue to comprehend the company's disclosure and its position in a competitive Chinese coffee market where the company displaced Starbucks as the retail and delivery leader in just a few short years. So what's going on, guys, is Luckin Coffee grew so fast to shooting for around 4,500 stores in China to compete with Starbucks. I prefer Starbucks. I think Starbucks is more diversified, and I think Luckin has a ton of problems right now. So as you can see here, that massive decline is putting massive pressure on banks that extended loans to buy the stock on margin. So we learned this morning from Zhang Yang at the Wall Street Journal that a structured loan of one of the company executives could lead to losses of $100 million. So what is that? What is buying stock on margin? Well, buying stock on margin is simply borrowing money. You can either borrow money from a bank, or if you use Robinhood, you can borrow money from Robinhood, and that allows you to usually invest more money using someone else's money. So for example, in Robinhood, the way I invest in margin is, let's say you have a Robinhood account of $500 and you want to invest in Robinhood. Well, you would have your $500 and then you would get $500 from Robinhood. They would basically allow you to invest on margin. And then as you take that money and you invest it, you would pay them interest until you pay the margin back. So what the problem is that this investor, one of the executives, is on a margin call where they suffered so many losses, and now the bank wants to obviously do a margin call and get their money. So if you read it, it says on Monday, Goldman Sachs said a group of lenders is putting 76 million of Luckin's depository shares up for sale after an entity controlled by Luckin chairman Charles Jingyao defaulted on the terms of a $518 million margin loan. The Goldman is acting as a disposal agent for lenders, meaning that it's helping to facilitate the sale of the transactions. So what that means, guys, is that you're going to see Luckin stock fall even more because now all of those lenders that simply allowed this chairman to buy stock on margin, now they want to dump these shares into the marketplace, which means anytime you're seeing a lot of stocks being sold, you're going to see the price go even further. So I wouldn't be surprised if Luckin stock goes even lower as they try to simply dump these shares and get a lot of their money back, even though the executives already lost $100 million. So this is really bad news, guys. A lot of people have been suffering from this whole catastrophe. But the funny part is that according to Apptopia, it says the downloads of the apps have skyrocketed. So the article continues to say that massive splurge are driven by two competing factors, which act together as a bit of a Rorschach test for Chinese market observers. The more idealistic version had Chinese consumers rallying around the company as a form of Chinese nationalism against the American coffee chain Starbucks, in addition to supporting the company's more accessible pricing. So it says that on a popular Chinese news network, SupChina, it says on Chinese social media, most individuals, especially loyal customers to the coffee chain, were unfazed by the scandal, saying they would appreciate every second of Luckin while it lasts. As someone living on a limited budget, I don't care about whether the company's financial practices are illegal or not. I just don't want to lose an affordable alternative to Starbucks. So why is it an affordable alternative to Starbucks? Well, Luckin is well known for giving out lots of discount. As you can see, Luckin's explosive growth the last few years are driven by heavy discounting and coupons along with prepaid coffees. So coffees that might be very hard to get if the company's fraud is more expansive and heads towards bankruptcy. So guys, there's a lot of stuff going on right here, and I can show you guys some of the ways people are rallying around Luckin Coffee because they love the cheap alternative to Starbucks. So if we check out an article on QZ, it talks a bit more about how so many people are rallying behind this company and supporting it due to Chinese nationalistic pride. So that's a great thing in terms of people supporting it. So it says, in the near term, support from Chinese consumers could help tide Luckin over a difficult period as a company deals with not only fraud investigation but slowing sales at home as the pandemic dampens consumer spending. But the company is already facing a number of class action lawsuits from U.S. investors, and its troubles are much likely to get worse. So, and perhaps even a knock-on effect, have a knock-on effect on the other U.S. listed Chinese company as scandal heightens long-standing worries over accounting standards at such companies. So, guys, a lot of stuff going on here. It looks like that this situation has actually brought out kind of a Chinese nationalistic pride as people like supporting a Chinese company and the coffee at Luckin. According to you guys, I haven't been to China in a very long time. I haven't been to China in years, but a lot of you guys have chimed in on the comments on my recent video on Luckin Coffee, and you said that the coffee is up to 50% cheaper and sometimes even tastes better. But the good news is, if you guys lost a lot of money, there is a class action lawsuit going on for Luckin Coffee. So I'm going to show you guys that press release. So we take a look on Yahoo Finance. It says on April 1st, Pomerantz LP announces that a class action lawsuit has been filed against Luckin Coffee. So basically, if you acquired shares between November 13, 2019 and January 31st, 2020, you can get in this class action lawsuit. So what is a class action lawsuit? Well, it's basically a group of people that will get together and simply try to recoup some of those losses that they lost in Luckin Coffee due to the fake accounting numbers by the COO. So you guys just check out this. You can check out this domain name if you're eligible for this class action lawsuit. So if you did own shares of Luckin Coffee, you could be eligible to get some compensation back, guys. So that's really nice. I didn't know that a class action suit was being filed. You can check that out at www.pomerantz.law.com. I'll put that link in the description so you guys can check that out if you unfortunately held shares during the scandal. Okay, so guys, this is just a risky situation, and I think Luckin stock could trade even lower. So remember now, Goldman Sachs sees over 70 million shares, and they're looking to sell off those shares, put a lot more pressure on the stock. So that will probably send this stock much lower. But there are a few positive things. So probably the biggest positive thing that I would see is that the market cap is getting ridiculously small. So now Luckin is basically valued as a $532 million company. Now, guys, this company IPO'd, I believe it was at around $4 billion IPO. So this would make Luckin a very, very, very discounted company if you guys were to believe that they will somehow stay afloat. But the problem is what's going to happen once the company stops issuing so many coupons and stops issuing so many free cups of coffee to lure in customers. Will they still be able to compete with Starbucks basically when these coupons dry up? And so, like I said, guys, for me, it seems like Luckin is pretty cheap, but I think it's going to go lower, perhaps to even $3 or more. So I would say if you're really looking to buy this stock, be patient on this one. Remember, there's a lot of negative news going on, and a lot of that negative news is baked into the stock. You don't want to buy this stock at perhaps $4, what it's at now, and then it heads to 2, and now you've lost half of your position. So for me, this is simple to see, although I really want to see if this company will survive this because suffering a lot of losses even though app downloads are up. So I want you to keep that in mind, guys. It seems like Chinese nationalism is rallying around this company, and all the negative publicity has perhaps enticed more customers to come into the store. The question is, can this company stay afloat or not? So I think right now this is a no touch for me, but I am closely watching the price now since it's well under $5 and it's well within moving towards a penny stock price. So now this stock is definitely on my radar, and I'm going to be updating you guys very often on the price action and whether or not I think it's time for the buy and whether I'll be buying in some shares, because the funny thing is I did buy into Luckin way back last year. I believe I bought the shares at 22 and sold them at 19. So I am familiar with the company, and I did own it at one time in my Robinhood even though I sold it. So I'll definitely be updating you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So what are you doing with Luckin stock? Are you buying? Are you selling? Do you think the stock's going to go lower? Do you think it's going to go higher? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So until next time, guys, take care.